Hello and welcome to our live broadcast of SMTV on this Friday afternoon. I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Willie Kelly. Thanks for joining us today.
You know, I think since we broadcast to you live every day from Dallas, from the DFW area, it's only fitting that we pay our respects to Big Tex, the 50-foot tall icon at the State Fair of Texas who was lost in a fire today.
That's right. That was instant news, obviously, around the office. We all actually caught it from our computers, just social media in action. And it's an icon that's always remembered, but, it's gotten the word out and it's gone global.
It has,
yes.
yeah, on Twitter. It's a trending topic worldwide, not only for DFW and for Texas, and the United States, but for the world, it's a trending topic on Twitter. The word just gets out so fast. And these parts of our childhood, I think, stick with us, especially if you've grown up in Texas. It just sticks with you, and so it means the same whether you're an adult or whether you're 4 years old. Big Tex just has those memories for you.
Yeah, and we were discussing on the way down here, having not grown up in Dallas, I still knew about Big Tex. I'd still seen it before. And I remember when I first moved here, going to the State Fair and seeing Big Tex, and I instantly still bought with that, even though I didn't grow up with it.
There's just something about that giant cowboy in Dickies. A couple of the stories that we want to talk about also today. One is this great video that was a response to what was supposed to be really sort of a comedic interaction with the feminine product company Bodyform.
Yes.
Let me pull up the, there's an article about it here. And what they did was the company Bodyform created a video to respond to this one comment. Not even it's a man, so it's not even a customer.
Yes.
Not even a potential customer gets this personal, individualized response with this woman who is an actor pretending to be the CEO of the company. And just what a really neat way for a brand to interact with a fan.
Absolutely, and not just a fan. They did wait until his comments originally went viral and got some traction.
Yeah.
And it's a position where a lot of companies would be looking and saying, what do we do to clean this up, sweep it under the rug? And Bodyforms didn't do that. They embraced it. They made it fun. And I know it's something I'm going to remember. That video was hilarious.
It was, and it's got 2.2 million views right now on YouTube. You have to go check this out. Yeah, it's only 1 minute 45 seconds long, but it's so funny the way this actress is describing how the company supposedly has been trying to hold back the truth about women's health from men.
Yes.
In response to this man's comment. And the interesting thing is, it's not a negative comment. It wasn't. It was tongue-in-cheek negative. The original comment on Facebook was not. It wasn't a critique of the company. It was just this guy trying to be funny on Facebook, and you would think that a company, of course, would want to respond to negative feedback, but this was just something funny that did happen to get 80,000 or so likes, so that did help a lot.
Yes, absolutely. But I think it was a great move on their part, and definitely worth their investment and a memorable move, because I know a lot of people will remember that for a long time.
Right. If you're a large company like this one video, 2-minute video, probably was not a huge investment of their resources, especially for a company that can't afford that kind of video. But even if you can't, that length with just a handheld camera with your iPhone, you could create something pretty memorable.
Yeah, absolutely. And they really took viral to the next level. They took something that was already viral on its own. You said 80,000 shares. And they took it and turned it into millions of hits of their own product. Now they have the upper hand. They have the conversation control now because of the way they responded in a very equally tongue-in-cheek manner.
Now, speaking of YouTube, there's some interesting updates that I think are really going to help people steer future videos when they look at the YouTube analytics, when they look at the metrics of each of their videos. Now, YouTube is going to offer time watched. So it'd be really interesting to see not only how many people are viewing my videos, but how long are they viewing my videos.
Yes. And I think that's a great thing to have, just because, in marketing, you always talk about that first impression, first 3 to 5 seconds is what you have to really lock a viewer down. And this will help you identify which of your videos are really getting past that point and which ones are basically falling on deaf ears, even though they're gaining views and hits.
Right, absolutely. And this kind of falls in line with YouTube's recent update to how they are ranking videos. They're giving a little bit more favor to the videos that have longer watch time. So people stay on them longer and see more of the video. Those are the ones that are going to pop up higher in the search rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the future we do see a little criticism, basically people saying that they're upset that certain videos are basically getting higher ranking because they're more popular and more favorited.
Interesting.
Just like, they get a lot of flack for the political campaigns, basically helping people create a bias, as a lot of people say. I think that they may receive some flack on YouTube for that. However, I think Google's always had their head in the right place of trying to figure out what the user actually wants. And I think this is a great way to do that. They're relating to people that relate to you and what they already found entertaining to give you the most entertainment.
I think so, and a great reminder to brands to make that content more entertaining.
Absolutely.
I want to invite you to be a part of our show by letting us know what social media campaigns you're working on, how are they working, do you have any questions about any of your social media platforms, please let us know.
You can reach out to us at questions@splashmediau.com, or you can tweet us by using the hashtag SMTVQuestions.
Let's hear from our viewers now. Our first question comes from Kylie. Kylie wants to know, what's a tweet chat?
Well, a tweet chat is actually a pretty interesting experience. There will be a general host or website or company that's basically promoting it initially, but it's going to be a set time and generally a set topic that people will all sign on to Twitter at the same time and post various questions, responses, links, all sorts of great material in relation to that industry, topic, whatever it may be. And they'll usually tie together with a hashtag that is put together by the promoter. Now, these are great to participate in or to even create yourself if you have the appropriate audience and outlets to promote it.
Absolutely. If you are an influencer or you have connections in your industry, start a tweet chat. It's a great idea. I mean, people, I think, by now are probably familiar with chat rooms. You've probably been in a chat room, done some instant messaging, maybe some Skyping, some form of chatting. And this just takes that to the Twitter level. If you have a Twitter account, you're on Twitter, you can use this hashtag, start tweeting at the designated time with that hashtag, and start talking to other people.
Yeah, great. And that was a good comparison to the chat rooms. That's kind of something that's almost fallen to archaic. Now I guess they're more called forums.
Right.
But this really combines the instant messaging and chat rooms and public venues all together. You can see everything that's going on in tweet chat. You can interact with everybody in tweet chat, but it's much more instantaneous and fast and live than the old chat rooms or forums used to be.
Absolutely. And there are a couple ways to get in there. You can either do a search for the hashtag so that you can see the results that are pulling just from that hashtag, but also in the same way that an RSS reader like Google Reader, where you want to bring in all of your articles to see them in one place, there are other services like TweetChat, and there are a couple others like that that bring in all parts of a conversation using one hashtag, so you don't have to keep doing that search refresh.
Absolutely. And like we discussed, you can either try to set up your own with the outreach you have from your company, or this is a great way to become an influencer if you're trying to basically gain traction and gain credibility online in your industry.
Definitely.
Next, we have a question from Keith. Keith wrote to us, is it okay to email my YouTube video to my clients?
If you're already emailing, I would say definitely yes. If you have an email campaign going out, put your video in there, embed it. Talk about everything going on in your company. You don't want to bombard them, but I think generally it's okay to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it all goes back to the constant theme that we're talking about of tying everything together.
Yeah.
If you have email marketing, you should absolutely be including your videos. But don't be afraid to stop there. You can host that video on your website where there's a landing page where you can capture more information from those clients, where you can actually see the number of hits they're getting, not only in the views, but hits to the page where people may go to the page and not do the view. There's just so much you can do with all those things, and it's all about getting creative, wrapping your brain around what you want to do to get the most out of it and what type of metrics you want to measure. But if you have the assets and you have the resources, there's no reason not to do things like this.
I completely agree, yeah. All right, let's answer this question from Valerie. Should I post on Facebook during weekdays so my clients will see those posts during business hours?
I think absolutely. I know that a lot of people like to think that their employees and staff are not using Facebook and Twitter during business hours. But when you look into studies that check Facebook interactions and times that most people are on Facebook and engaging with it, also on Twitter, business hours are actually some of the hottest times. So the times that people are at work is actually when they're most likely to be hopping on just for a moment or two and actually interacting on Facebook. And if you don't go during the business hours, if you're trying to be polite and not be the one distracting people, you will be missing out on a lot of exposure and interaction.
And I like that you had 2 points in there. One is definitely tell your employees. Definitely tell all of your partners, everybody who works in conjunction with your company, that you are on social media so they can get in and interact with you. And absolutely, I would post in weekdays during working hours. There are some times that work better than others, so make sure that you're posting at a variety of times, then going back and looking at Facebook Insights or analytics, seeing where at what times your posts get the most engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also, remember, you got to keep it relevant to your business. If you're an 8 to 5 business, people are going to be thinking about you during 8 to 5, so it makes the most sense to put it out then. However, if you're a bar or restaurant that's trying to push late night parties, happy hours, things like that, posting later at night and in the evenings makes a lot more sense. So it's all about customizing for your business and knowing your audience.
Weekends too.
Weekends too, yes, absolutely.
Good part of the testing, yeah.
So I mean, again, if you're a business that runs 8 to 5, you absolutely should be posting between 8 to 5. It's the nature of the way the world's working now.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Robert wants to know, what is a good campaign idea for my pizza delivery business?
I love these brainstorm questions.
Yeah.
Good campaign for a pizza business. One thing you could do on Twitter is maybe suggest some crazy toppings. You call it Tweety Pie. See what I did there? I added the.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest thing is that there's endless options with this. What I would do is start with the type of contest you've seen before that you like. If you like, comment on this photo contest. If you like, fill out this form and like our page contest. Retweet contest. Anything that you can think. Submit a picture of yourself with our pizza.
Eating our pizza. Yeah.
Those are all great ideas that are out there, and it's really about just tailoring it to your business and remembering the audience that you have and the barrier of entry are also very essential. If you have a smaller audience, you're going to expect a lower number of entries. So you want a low barrier of entry to encourage people. Something as simple as most comments will get, or anybody that comments is entered.
Right.
That's a simple thing, takes 2 seconds and people will jump on it. Compared to when you're asking people to submit photos and things like that, it takes a little effort and you're only going to have more committed fans doing that. So it's kind of something you don't necessarily want to dabble into if you don't have some external support behind it or some additional funding.
And I think that the question also mentioned delivery. So there could be some fun things to do with geography. If you want to talk about your particular location, post about something that's happening locally, or maybe target your Facebook post to a certain region.
Yes, that's right. That is another huge element that seems to be a growing tool. Even LinkedIn, I think, is targeting now as well. So absolutely targeting it to the right audience is another huge element. And keep the prize in mind too. If you have it's a free pizza, keep it at a simple entry. If you're giving away a free year of pizza, that's a different story,
I love that, and those are the kinds of things you can offer on a regular basis, the free pizza. I mean, because the great thing about a B2C company or a retail or food industry, that kind of a company like pizza delivery, is that extra giveaway doesn't really cost the company anything.
Exactly.
It's such a great way to reward your fans.
Yeah, and it means so much to them. They always remember it. And, of course, you're going to make your winners into evangelists over time.
That is the key. These are all really good questions. That's going to do it for today. I want to thank you for joining us for SMTV. Keep those questions and topic ideas coming in. For Splash Media, I'm Duncan Gilman.
And I'm Willie Kelly. Have a great day.